Hey there everybody, Coach Brandon here today with Coach Adam, and he's going to be helping me show you guys how to prevent our opponent's closed turtle escapes. Last week we went over how to break down and attack our opponent's closed turtle. But you got to understand that the turtle position is very defensive. There's a lot of things our partner can do. They're in a very explosive position. They can move a lot of different ways. When we have our partner on their back, their athleticism is pretty minimal. They can drive their legs into the ground, drive elbows and hands, but their athleticism is really minimal. When our opponent assumes a turtle position, their athleticism potential is very great. They can easily explode up to a very athletic position. They can move around quick, and so we've got to be ready for their escapes. Understand that when we're in turtle, yes, we are moving forward with the goal of breaking them down and taking their back, but we also have a defensive responsibility. If they go to escape, we need to identify that they are trying to escape, and then we need to get tight, either inside the elbows to the pocket of the shoulders or inside the knees to the pocket of the hips to stop them from regarding. There's a sense in that this is a lot like dynamic pinning. In dynamic pinning, we want to move forward to the most dominant positions in the sport, mount and back control, but at the same time, we've got to be very attuned and paying attention to what our partner is doing, and if they try to escape, we had to change our pinning strategy. We're doing the same thing in the turtle. We're looking to break down the turtle, but when my opponent tries to escape the turtle position using a number of different escapes, we need to be ready to intercept them and change our control strategy. So the first thing I want to do is I want to walk through what the 5 closed turtle escapes are, 5 more common ones, and then we'll look at ways to beat them. Let's just first look at what these 5 are. I'll demonstrate, I'll have Adam and top turtle, and I'll quickly demonstrate what these are. So we have a sitting escape. When I'm in the turtle position, if I can take my right knee and either extend it so it's behind Adam, so I have Adam inside my right knee, so he's no longer to the side of me. Or if I can bring it up as a frame in between me and Adam, and I can connect knee and elbow together, that would also work very well. So from here, I take that right leg up, and now as I slouch to my left hip, Adam's gonna be trying to come in tight, but as he comes in tight, he runs into my elbow and my knee frames here. And now I use my frames to make space and recover my guard. So that's sitting to guard. We also have an outside shoulder roll. This one comes into play when Adam starts to maybe lock this arm in a little too deep and a little too high up on the body. This also comes into play really well when people try to lock a seatbelt, or when they lock a seatbelt from here, and he's committed, okay? When he's committed with his hands, when he's committed with his hands to the upper body, when he's committed especially with this hand, I can go into my outside shoulder roll. I'm going to control his wrist, elbow deep. I use the pocket of my elbow on his wrist, and I glue my elbow to my ribs. When Adam tries to pull the hand free, it's not easy. Now from here, I start to turn an angle on Adam, so that when I off balance him, I'm going to pull him right over his shoulder, right over where he doesn't have base. Now I'm going to extend my left leg so my left hip doesn't have a base of support, and I drop my left hip to the floor as I continue to roll and pull Adam over the top of me, reaching over, grabbing the body, just like so. And now he's on top, now I'm at top side. So that's an outside shoulder roll. We have an inside shoulder roll that we have to be ready for. In an inside shoulder roll, I want to make sure my hip is not controlled. So I'd like to try to clear that hand out of my hip as much as possible. I might even physically grab the hand and put it in my back pocket. I do this a lot too. So I'm here, I get control of this hand, I put it in my back pocket. Okay, now from here I'm going to put my shoulder on the floor. I come up into an inverted position, driving my hips and my tail toward Adam's armpit. This leg comes wide, and I recover my guard. So that's where we roll over the inside shoulder, or the inside shoulder roll. So we've seen sitting to guard, the outside shoulder roll, the inside shoulder roll. Now let's look at a couple other options, which we'll also see when we're looking at the open turtle. These last two are rolling to ashigarami and pummeling the arm back across the center line. So in turtle here, off the side of this hand, if Adam makes the mistake of leaving this foot near the center of my 2 feet here, I can begin to roll through, grabbing the leg. I can roll into an Ashigarami position. Okay, so Adam's got to be very aware of keeping his lone isolated leg in a position where I can take my 2 legs and trap his 1 leg with my 2 legs. And then finally, we have pummeling the arm across the center line, where I'm here. One thing I might want to do is if I can take my arm in between me and Adam, I can now come up and I have a tight waist. I can now put him in front of me and I can start to wrestle. I can come down, I can start grabbing onto the legs, driving through, etc. So that last one again was me going from a situation where Adam is behind me, and if I can take my arm in between me and him, he goes from behind me to in front of me. And now with him in front of me, I can start wrestling. So with those 5 escape strategies in mind, we've got to be ready for how to intercept and defeat all 5 of them. The sitting to guard, outside shoulder roll, inside shoulder roll, Ashigarami roll, and then just pummeling the arm across the center line. So let's get started by looking at sitting to guard. Adam's going to take turtle for me. And once again, if you would just give me a demonstration, if I'm here, Adam wants to sit into the guard position using his elbows and his knees together to frame against me so I can't get chest to chest. So one of the first things I like to do when I'm going to intercept this sitting to guard escape is I never let his knee cross my center line. Okay? I'm a little closer to the camera, right here center, perfect. So when I'm here, one, I like to play with one knee on either side of the hip. There are a couple of different ways to play turtle. I could play here. I could play here hip to hip. I could even play here square behind. Less common, but you can do it. I'm going to play here with my 2 knees surrounding his hips. Okay, my knee up here, my right knee here down by his knee, my left knee up here behind his butt. Now, when I feel Adam start to sit to guard, one thing I like to do is take my left knee here, and then as he sits to guard, I use my left knee to stay on top of his knee. So as he tries to sit to guard, I never let this knee come up off the floor. Okay, I keep that knee under control. Now, from here, I can just windshield wiper my feet to the other side or pummel my legs to the other side and come around here. Now, from here, if I can get the trap muscle and get inside and behind the elbow, behind and inside, I can start to lock up a Kimura seatbelt and I can do a chair sit. So we went from a situation where Adam was turtled, defending his inside position. He went for an escape and opened up the inside position going for his escape, and we took advantage of it and actually took the back of the chair sit. Once again, the key to not letting him even get started on this sitting escape is to keep that inside knee crushed. So I'm here again. Here, and I feel Adam start to go for that sitting escape. I want to make sure I stay heavy over this knee. I might do it with my hips. I might do it with my left knee. Or here, as he goes to sit, I'm going to crush that knee, stay heavy with my hips or with my knee, just something heavy on this knee so he can't open this knee up. I can do it with my hips. I could do it with my knee as well. It's another good option. So one more time from the gate, top. One more time from the top. I'm here, and Adam, I feel Adam starting to sit to guard. I could also use my right knee. Look at how I'm riding up with my right knee. It's another option. If I'm here, I can take my right leg and make a sticky hook behind his knee. As I feel that knee coming up, I make that sticky hook. He tries to sit. And because he can never get this knee to the other side of me, he can't recover the guard. Now again, I come up, I bring my arm over his trap muscle, over the shoulder. I come behind and inside the elbow. I can lock up a seatbelt. If I want, I can go the extra distance and secure the wrist for a Kimura seatbelt. And now we take the back, and we're good to go. We're ready to submit. So that's if I can stop his knee in the first place. There's going to be some situations where I can't stop that knee, and it passes across my center line. And now what do we do? Let's square up just a little bit. So he starts to turn into me, and I feel this happening just like so. He's beating me with this knee. Okay? Let's open your body just a little bit. This knee is starting to come in between me and Adam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to pummel my knee into the pocket of his hip. And I can do this from a couple different directions. I can bring my left knee here over the top, and I can put it into the pocket of the top hip. And I can crush his legs like so. Okay, so I'm here, he starts to put that knee up, I take my knee up and over, I crush. Now I can pummel my feet behind, set my seatbelt, and we're ready to take the back again. He comes up to turtle again. So that was where I took a knee wedge to the pocket of the top hip. Same thing happens, he sits, he gets that knee across. If that knee is too high, the knee is so high that it doesn't make sense to try to come over and crush it, I can pummel it to the inside. I can take my knee from the outside to the inside, pummeling it in, and now I'm going to take my knee to the pocket of Adam's bottom hip. Here. So now, as he tries to recover, I just control the elbows, going through, and I have the pocket of the hip under my control. So I can take a knee wedge either to the pocket of the top hip, or I can take a knee wedge to the pocket of the bottom hip. They're both good. Either way, we're getting to the pocket of the hip to make sure that I stay inside the knees so he can't get his knees between me and him. One more time, look at them both. I'm here, he sits. I can look to crush the leg from the top, or if I'm not quick enough and he beats me at the top knee, I come in tight with my left knee here, and I'm through. One more thing that might happen is Adam might end up snagging an ankle. I'll show this. So I'm here, he starts to go through, and as I'm trying to come in, we end up just like so. Okay, that was perfect. That was exactly what I wanted. Let's show that again. So I'm here, he starts to slowly sit. As I try to ride and follow the hips, I try to take my knees to the pocket of the hip, and he ends up in a 3/4 mount. So what do I do from here? We go back to our slicer roll. Let's center up in the camera. So I end up here. I'm going to take my right elbow over the head, and I plant it right down here next to the hip. As I do that, let's rotate. I'm going to walk a figure 4 with my legs, and then I lock an outside lockdown by taking my shoelaces to his shoelaces, like so. Now I'm just going to do a forward roll. I immediately catch diagonal control here, so I have the bottom hip controlled with my hook, and I have the top shoulder controlled with my half claw grip. And then from here, we set our back control, set a hook, set the seatbelt. So those are a number of good ways to deal with an opponent who's simply trying to turn and face us and sit to the guard position. Next, let's look at an opponent who tries to go for the outside shoulder roll. Just a quick refresher on this. Adam, bring your hand right there, perfect. I bring this arm in too deep. Adam's going to turn an angle slightly, and now he extends the far leg, dropping to the hip, and he sends me over the top. So one of the big keys to beating this technique is the Garcia roll. Okay? It is making sure that as he starts to slouch his hips, and I'm here, as he slouches, I jump to the far side. Real quick before you do that. First, when I feel him take this grip, I get a grip on his wrist. So now I have a rear straight wrist grip. Sit up. Remember, this is like the grip to our seatbelt. When I come in and I have a seatbelt, one of the first grips we want to do is take this control grip right here. So when he goes for that grip, that outside shoulder roll, I can grab either the wrist or sometimes even the pinky knuckle. Usually the wrist. Now as I feel Adam turning and getting an angle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over Adam's body, trying to land with my leg, to the far side of his hip. So when he goes to sit his hip to the floor, he ends up on top of my leg. And we end up landing right here in a seated breakdown position with his hip between my two knees. From here I set a seatbelt, and now I start to throw my hooks in, and we have the back. So again, when I feel my opponent slouching on their far hip with my trapped arm here, like they're going for that outside shoulder roll with this trapped arm, I want to leap across the body. So I take this hip or this knee and I get it to the far side of the hip. I want to position his hips between my two knees. That's my goal, okay? So when I'm in here, I put in a tight waist and I feel him grip and I feel him get an angle. I'm going to take a grip on the wrist. With my left hand, I grip his wrist. That's my rear straight wrist grip. And now as I feel him go, I'm going to leap so that my two knees surround his hips. Just like so, and we can take the back. One more time. I'm here. Adam starts to go. We dive through, and we end up kind of in a seated breakdown position, ready to take the back. This time we'll do it in one regular speed. We'll come over to this side now. So we're going to roll through on this. So I'm here. I come take the turtle. Adam takes a grip. And we roll through, taking the back. That's the outside shoulder roll. One more option. This is going into a submission, but it's good to know. If I'm here, and Adam starts to go for the outside shoulder roll, but first, Adam's smart. He takes this inside knee, and he picks it up, and he steps over my outside leg here. So now when I try to dive over for a Garcia roll, I can't. My leg is trapped. So now Adam can come up, keep my leg trapped, and he can take top position, and it's bad for me. So again, it was complicated because Adam used this leg to stop me from jumping to the far side. When this happens, I focus my efforts on a Kimura grip on this arm. I'm here, he starts to get ready, I grip the wrist. And as I feel he got that leg around me, and as I feel myself start to go, I'm gonna grab a Kimura grip on this arm, just like so. Now when Adam tries to release my leg and turn to face me, he can't. When he goes to turn away from me, I lift the elbow and he can't. And we end up in the T Kimura position. Okay? We're gonna come back to the T Kimura position in the future when we're studying the Kimura position, but it is one of my favorites. I use that position a lot, so we're gonna get familiar with that later on. Not gonna spend too much time with it right now because it's a very specific set of circumstances to get there, okay? But understand that when they go for that outside shoulder roll, if he traps me with that leg, securing a Kimura on that far arm is a great way to slow him down, stick him in place for a minute, so you can retake the advantage. Now, let's talk about the inside shoulder roll. A quick demonstration. Since we're going to be rolling toward the camera a little bit, let's come back. So right here. So when I'm in here, Adam wants to clear my tight waist out. He wants to drop to this shoulder, and he wants to go through and recover the guard position. Good. He's going to do it one more time. This time he's going to bring this leg nice and wide. So I'm here, he drops to that shoulder, that leg goes nice and wide, and I get stuck in the guard. So there's a few different ways I can beat that inside shoulder roll. The first one is a near side Garcia roll. What's that? From the turtle, our normal Garcia roll goes on the far side. Let's look at the outside shoulder roll counter for an example. When I'm here and he goes into the outside shoulder roll, I jumped to the far side and I took the back over there. When he goes into a near side shoulder roll, this one, I can roll with him and take the back. It's a Garcia roll essentially, like we did on the other side, but now we're doing the Garcia roll on the near side, over this shoulder. I'm here, and I feel Adam starting to peel the grip. Slow down. When I see that his head starts to move away and I see that he's starting to bring this shoulder to the floor, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot in my choking arm, just like so. So my elbow goes over the shoulder. As that happens, my head goes up here next to Adam's head. So as that shoulder goes down, I go through and I land like so. I land with my seatbelt in place. Okay? Now, a big problem from here is if Adam can jump his hips over my hips to the other side of my body, he lands on top and side control. So it's imperative that I don't let him get over my body. If I'm here, and Adam goes for that shoulder roll, if I'm here and I let his hips go higher than my left knee and he goes over my body, yes, he lands across side, no good for me. So this time, I'm going to make sure that when I do my nearside shoulder roll, or my nearside Garcia roll, I make sure that my left knee stays higher than his hips. So he's going to try to jump his hips over my leg, my knee's going to catch him. We're here, he's going to go to his nearside shoulder, and I keep my elbow and my knee together, and I keep my leg high. So when he tries to hop over my body, he runs into my knee. Now from here, oftentimes during the roll, we can get into our behind and inside the elbow grip here. We come up with a seat belt. So now with my seat belt grip, I'm going to take my left foot and push him off my bottom knee. And I come up to this position here. There's many good things we can do from this position. The simplest option is just simply to reach through. We got our Kimura seat belt right here. I step over, and I do my chair sit. So that's our near side Garcia roll. Another option that I have is I can simply post my hand on the floor and follow him around the corner. Understand that with this inside shoulder roll, Adam's whole goal is to get this leg across my body, to get this far leg over here across my center line. Go ahead, Adam, nice and slow. He needs this leg to come out wide, go across my center, and capture me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor the pocket of Adam's hip over here and use my left elbow as a frame inside the pocket of the hip to make sure this knee doesn't cross my center line. When I'm here, Adam clears this grip. And as he goes to his inside shoulder roll, I'm going to plant my hand on the floor and I'm going to follow around the hips. Continuing to wedge my hand across the pocket of the hips here, so I have a tight waist grip. Just like so. Let's come back to the wall, Adam, since we're going forward on this technique. So again, I'm going to be planting and following his roll, going around the corner, never allowing this leg to pass in front of my body. Here, he strips the grip. As he makes the commitment, I go around, I swim my hand in, trying to get underneath the knee. This is where there's going to be a fight. Adam's going to be trying to fight and win this fight to get the leg around my body. And I'm going to keep trying to walk and circle around to stay inside of it in front of the knee and keep my arm here tight to the pocket of the hip. Yeah, that's rough. Excellent. Okay. So we'll do this one more time. Let's do it at another angle. Let's face that way. Yeah, perfect. I'm here. He's going to go to strip and follow and go. I'm going to follow, capture my arm to the pocket of the hip, and I crush. Now I come up and I have side control. Now that I have side control, I can start working my way inside the elbows, and I can start setting up my submissions. So that's the inside shoulder roll. We saw first the near side Garcia roll, where we dive with them and chase the back. Then we have this other option, which is more conservative. We don't dive with them and chase the back. We stay in top position on hands and knees and we follow them around. Now we're going to look at another option where maybe this time Adam's beating me to the punch. I'm trying to follow him around, but that leg is beating me. And I see he's gonna get that leg across my center line. What do I do in this scenario? I typically like to control the hips and not let the hips drop. And I'll force him up into the plow position, the step, and then we'll pass the guard from that plow position. Let's come back a little bit. So when I'm here and Adam starts to go for that, and I'm trying to follow, and I see, oh, that leg is beating me. I'm not going to be able to get to the far side of the leg anymore. It's too far gone. At this scenario, at this part, my right hand goes here to the pants, and I'm just going to start to posture and pull the pants up, taking his two big toes toward the floor. And now from here, with the legs stuck where they are, I can start taking my knee over the bicep, but I'll do it on this side because I have this grip. Knee over the bicep, hand through to the pocket of the hips, and we complete our double under stack pass. So again, if your partner hits this inside shoulder roll, and you feel like that leg is too far gone, they're going to get it across your center line, grab the belt, grab the pants, maybe grab the skirt of the gi, grab whatever fabric is available, grip that fabric, and don't let those hips drop to the floor. We're gonna keep those hips high over our partner's head, forcing their two big toes to the floor, to the plow position, and then you guys know how to pass guard from there. One more time. I'm here, Adam goes to hit that inside shoulder roll. I see, oh, it's too far. I grab the pants, I grab the skirt, I grab the belt, whatever's available. And now I can start standing and posturing. And I put his two big toes to the mat. Now with his big toes on the floor, I start going in, knee over the bicep, across the pocket of the hips, and we take our guard pass. So those are some good responses when our opponent rolls over the inside shoulder. Now, so we've seen the sitting to guard, the outside shoulder roll, and the inside shoulder roll. Now let's see our partner who rolls, but this time not with the idea of getting on top or anything, but rather with the idea of attacking into my legs. Now let's understand something. Adam, can you take turtle face to the wall, please? If I keep my foot outside of Adam's 2 feet, and he were to try to roll and attack a leg lock at this point, there's nothing there for him. However, I make the mistake of putting my foot in between Adam's 2 legs, and now he rolls. Go ahead. He can snatch at my leg, and he can start going into leg locks. So we never want to keep one of our feet between his 2 legs. You're gonna see, just like with triangles, we always want to keep both out or both in. If I have both out, we saw that Adam can't roll for a leg lock. There's nothing there for him. If I have both in and Adam rolls for a leg lock, he can't isolate my 2 legs. Like he can try to go after a leg lock now, but my 2 legs dominate the inside position. It's gonna be hard for him to overpower my legs because he can't isolate them. They're working together. So we don't, and you don't just be naive. Like we're talking about really basic white belt stuff. Don't put this foot here in the middle. As you go better, or as your partners get better, I can't even let my foot be anywhere near the middle. If I'm here, Adam's gonna quickly open his feet and go, and there's the leg. So I never want to let my foot dangle between the 2 feet or anywhere where I feel like Adam could easily position his 2 feet around one of my feet. So now that we understand that, let's go through and let's start looking at some of our escapes here. So first, I'm going to keep you facing that way for now, Adam. First things first, let's say I make a mistake and I have my foot dangling in the center. Adam starts to go and starts to get that leg. Stop. Right here. I feel this happening. When I feel this happening and I feel my leg in danger, I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to pummel it right here. I go from inside to outside. Now when Adam tries to commit to the leg lock and go after the leg, grab my leg, he can't pull my leg through because my foot is stuck, hooked on the outside. I make a strong, sticky hook here. Now, not only does he fail at the leg lock, but if I start to drive my knee over the bottom leg to the top, to the pocket of the hip, we land in the flank position, a position strongly associated with the leg drag guard pass. And we saw from the flank position, there are a lot of ways to go up and start attacking our opponent. So again, when Adam starts to roll and I feel him going after my leg, I just pummel my leg from the inside position here to the outside to a position of safety. I'm here, I feel Adam go, and I pummel. And then we crush. And we take the flank position. Okay, another option that I have is to put both legs in. When I'm in here and I feel Adam, maybe he got my ankle, maybe he got like my heel. So when I go to pummel my leg out, I can't. He controls the end of the lever. If I just stay where I'm at, eventually Adam's going to work himself into a better and better position, and he's going to start breaking my leg. So when I'm here, I feel Adam go for my leg, and I try to pummel to a position of safety, but he has the end of the lever, and I can't pummel. I'll take my other leg, my right leg, and I'll shove it in. And I'll go here. Now when Adam tries to attack my leg, I have my right leg and my right knee and my shoelaces as a barrier. So if he tries to attack my leg, I can put my knee against his body, I can kick off, and I can free my leg. Okay? So remember, we always want both in or both out. In this scenario, I can't get both out. He's got my one leg trapped in. So because I can't pull that one out, I'm going to shove the second one in. Okay, one more time. I'm here. He goes, I try to pummel, it's not working. So I put my left foot in, and I start to kick and pry to get my knee clear from his knee line. He wants my knee within what's called his knee line, his two thighs here. He wants my knee within that line. I want to use my free leg, my right leg here, to make a hook. And I'm going to use this hook to push and pry and slip my knee line free from his legs. And now from here, I'm going to connect my knee, my elbow together. When he tries to recover guard, I keep my knee, my elbow together. I find the pocket of the hip, and I'm up into the top position. Okay? That's good for now. Okay, so that's on the beating ashigarami, beating the ashigarami roll. There is another method you can do. It's riskier. I'm hesitant to show you this one